Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a way to communicate when all lines are down. We're looking at the Retivis RB86 20-watt waterproof GMRS mobile radio. And I'm going to tell you why I've been talking about GMRS so much. Let's check it out. Now, one of the things that I've always preached, I guess maybe because I'm a ham radio operator and, well, a radio geek, is communications when things are bad. And communications doesn't have to be a two-way street. Sometimes having a radio you can listen to is just as effective as talking to people on the radio. A radio you're listening to might be able to inform you of danger, of what's going on, where to pick up food in an emergency, all sorts of stuff. Heck, that's the reason a lot of people listen to police scanners. There's a lot out there to listen to and find out, maybe I don't want to go that way to work today because there's a problem there. So that's what I like about communications in general. And that's why I feel backup communications are so important during a disaster or emergency. Now, why do I like GMRS? Well, number one, it kind of gives somebody a way to break into the radio world that's a little more sophisticated than CB radio, or, one of those little FRS handheld blister packs you pick up at the store. And you can actually get a little more use out of it. It actually borders a little bit over on ham radio, but the licensing for it is as simple as going on and paying for your license. I believe it's $35 now. You go onto the FCC website, you register, you pay your $35, and within a day or two, you'll get an email with your GMRS call sign in it. Now, they're not the same as call signs on ham radio. They'll be letters and numbers instead of a letter, number, and letters. But your whole family can use it. That's another nice thing, too. So if I have this in my vehicle, and let's say you have this in your car, and your daughter's at home, and she doesn't know how to turn on the solar after a blackout, power outage, whatever, disaster, you can talk her through with this, and she can use the call sign. She can be Unit 1 or Unit 2, So if it's WRPS 1542, Unit 2, that could be her call. So your whole family can use the radio once one person gets the license. Basically, the licensing is kind of like how it used to be with CB, I believe. It was the station that was licensed, not the person, even though the license will have your name on it. Also, too, the neat part about this is you can use repeaters. Now, if you're not a ham and you don't know what a repeater is or how offsets work or PL tones, I would suggest reading up on that, but there's no test to take. Read up on it and kind of get an understanding of how offsets on repeaters work and everything. So when you're programming a radio like this, you're not completely baffled because you're missing out. If your area has GMRS repeaters and you're not using them, you're missing out on a big aspect of GMRS radio. So let's talk about this particular radio here. This is a 20-watt mobile radio. It can be used for a base station, and we're actually going to put it in a base station later on in the video. I do have an area where I have it set up with a little antenna outside and all. The area isn't a permanent mounting solution because it's also my grab and go gear should I need to respond to an emergency. I have my, my trailer antenna, I have my radio, I have my power box, it's all ready to go. So this is just basically going to sit on top. Now the radio does come with a bunch of stuff. As you can see, you got your microphone here. The radio can be programmed completely from the mic, or you can use the buttons on front. All right, it is programmable as far as using their software. It is not sure programmable yet. It is IP67 rated, so this is rated for mud, water, rugged applications. I actually, in researching this radio, I saw somebody take the top cover off here, and it's all gasketed all the way around the top cover. You'll notice the power connector. It is a proprietary power connector that they use only, but it's very well sealed up. That will seal up well. The other part that comes with this is also fused. This is fused here. The other part that comes with it is fused, and I put an Anderson connector on it for my power box over on the other side of the room there, where we're going to install it. Even your microphone, which is a 6-pin connector, is a proprietary yet waterproof connection. You'll notice here where it plugs in, that's all covered up. So you're just going to look for the ridge and put it in there. There we go. And screw it down, and it's that simple. And that is a watertight connection in there, okay? There is a little gasket around the outside of that too. You will be able to get 7 NOAA weather channels with this. You can scan an alarm and get information when there's an alert. Okay, it is a full 20-watt radio, which gives you a bit more punch out there. We did the review on the Retivis handheld last week, and that was around 4.5 to 5 watts. This will give you a whole lot more range. Also, too, if you install this in your home, you can put up a decent antenna outside, or in your vehicle, you can put up a mobile antenna, say, on the top of the vehicle. So you will get a little more range with it. The back of it, very simple. You got your SO239 connector, a fan, and the fan is sealed, so it is waterproof. You do have your USB connection on the back here. I'm going to get that in the camera so you can see it. You'll notice there's a door and it's open, okay? That is your USB connection. That's your external speaker. You can program this, so you close that back up and you'll just screw that back down. I have it open for the video, and when I finally do put it over there, I will screw that pulley back down. So that's the way you can update the firmware or program the radio itself. The radio comes out of the box ready to use, essentially. So really all you'll have to do is, once you get past the standard 22 channels of GMRS and you get into the repeater channels, you'll just need to basically program your CTCS tone and your offset, whether it's a plus or minus offset. And that is how repeaters work. If this is the frequency we're all listening to on a repeater, when I key up here, my radio frequency shifts 5.5 kilohertz down, okay, transmits to the repeater where the repeater is listening, and then rebroadcasts it once I let up on here. So everyone will hear you in real time. The tone is what you want to have in the background there. It's a subaudible tone. What it will do is open up the repeater. So static won't open the repeater, or somebody just messing around. You have to have the tone programmed into the radio. So when you key up, not only does it shift up or down, depending on what the offset is for the repeater, but it also transmits a subaudible tone that you can't hear, that the repeater can hear, and opens up. So you'll be able to transmit. So that's how it works. That's a very rudimentary explanation. Please make sure you go out and learn a little bit about radio. You'll be very frustrated when you try to program these. So you do have a very nice screen on the front here, and we'll see that lit up later. Very easy to read from a distance. The mic is also IP67 rated. It is waterproofed. Does have a nice little snap on the back there. You can see where it says right there, IP67. And all of your programming can be done from it, so that's very cool. Your function key, menu key, call, all that can be done right from the front, as well as these little buttons. Now, my only gripe with this radio is the function key. Down here. Now, if you're right-handed and you're driving like that, you're going to be hitting this. If you're left-handed, and I'm not left-handed, but I noticed this when programming it for the video, you're going to be pushing in on this, and you can't get a good grip because this knob is in the way. So maybe when they do another reversion of this, they'll move that up a little bit, or maybe increase the real estate or put it down at the bottom. It was just kind of hard to get to. This one isn't as bad because the mic isn't as big, but this one was kind of difficult from a left-handed side to get to. Anyway, you will have 282 privacy or CTCS or DCS tones. That was that subaudible tone that I was telling you about. And they work in different ways. CTCS is different from digital coded squelch, or DCS. There's a 2-tone, a 5-tone channel. Don't really know why that's in there, but it will reject extra calling from other radios. Again, the whole thing is IP67 rated. It's waterproof and dustproof for a bunch of environments. If you're going to put this in a quad or a side-by-side, you know you're going to go out and get it muddy every weekend, water splashed on it, this is the radio for you. So, let's go set it up over on the other side there on my radio table. I got to move some lights in the camera, and we'll see how it performs. Okay, so quickly, this is kind of my radio setup, my portable emergency grab-and-go gear. I have this radio in here in an ammo can. I have my little GMRS. This is a 2-meter 440. By the way, folks, if you do run across this company, it's Amendment 1 Radio. They basically took some money from subscribers and never sent out gear. So please don't look for their site. It's long gone. They ran off. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. And, well, I think the idea is neat, just so you know. Anyway, back to the radio here. This is where it's going to live up here. We're going to zoom in and I'll show you the screen and the menus. But I do have a little power box that I built down here. We're going to be upgrading this box with a lithium polymer battery, a lithium iron phosphate battery soon. And, everything runs out to an antenna outside. Both this and the other. So we're going to zoom in on here, and I'm going to give you a quick look, and then we're going to do an audio test on this, and I'll give you some final information on where you can pick it up to when we're all done with that. But let me zoom in on the screen and show you how this all works. All right, so right now I do have it in memory mode. I have a memory that I programmed. This is a local GMRS repeater here, and I have the tone in there and all that. I am just going to key up really quick just to make sure I got it in there. Yeah, so you can hear nice, good, clean audio from there. If I want to switch that bottom frequency, which is the Las Vegas GMRS repeater, I'll just hit my AB button. And there we go. Now I'm on the bottom one. So I can switch back and forth fairly easily. The menus are going to be very simple. If you want to go into the menu here, like that, you're going to push menu here, or you can push menu there. And you can scroll down between whatever you want to do, up or down, using the keypad. Like that. And you have all the utilities. Utilities here, radio settings and radio info. Radio settings are pretty simple. Let me get in there. Signal select, squelch mode, CTC or DCS, busy lock, DTM FID, the tones, the timeout timer, auto power off, squelch level, scan mode, display mode, all that. So very simple stuff. Okay. If you're interested in going into the function, let me get out of that. You will click on function over here. And then you can use any of these buttons. So let's go to the CTCS up top there. And my tone for this repeater is 100. Okay. As you can see, I don't want to block this off. I'm trying not to block it off. So it's a very simple radio to use. And your microphone or your front end can do all of the programming that you need to do very, very easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to channel 1 of the GMRS band, the first channel, and I'm going to let you listen to it. I'm just going to walk outside. We're not doing a range test on this because I've obviously been able to hit Las Vegas repeaters with it with my antenna outside. I'm just going to walk outside and let you hear what the sound quality is, because this really does have a nice speaker and decent sound quality to it. And then I'm going to tell you where you can pick it up, and we'll wrap up the video. All right, so I'm going to head outside now, and then I'm just going to cut the video, and you'll immediately hear me talking. We've got our handheld radio here on channel 1, and you'll see the sound quality on this and what it sounds like.
This is WRPS 321. We're doing a sound check on the Retivis RB86. Testing out the radio. WRPS 321. We're done.
All right, like magic, I'm back inside. So you can hear it's very, very clear, loud, and punchy, which is very nice. It negates the need for an external speaker. Some of these don't have the best external speakers on them. And again, I'm going to back up and let you kind of see where we're at here. Wrong way. So you can see I have it set up. I do have the mounting hardware, which will all come with it. The bracket's already been put on it. I am going to put this back on my 27. 1, 2. There we go. And it's back on the repeater frequency. So if I want to hang the microphone up, it does have the little clip on the back. And I just put that right up in here like that. I don't have it in there very strong, but there you go. So it's hung up and ready for use. So that's why I like these radios. They're tiny, they're small, they're portable, they're easy to mount anywhere. You can see I have a working ham radio and GMRS station right here doing absolutely nothing. Really that simple to use. So I'm going to let you know you can pick this up. It is on my Amazon store or in the Retivis site. I will give you the links for them down below. The price is $129.99. Now for a portable GMRS radio, that's pretty darn good. I mean, I'm still in the world of when I was first becoming a ham in 98, radios were like $500, $300, $400. So to get a decent radio like that's pretty good. Now on Amazon, again, not affiliated with me, but on Amazon is a $10 off coupon on this radio. So you'll be able to get it for $119.99 or $120 instead of $130. The link I'll have down below to check that out. And I definitely think it's a valid option for folks who are interested in getting their feet wet in communications, but maybe not ready to sit and study for a ham radio test. They just want to try out their hand at some form of communications with some rules and some order, unlike CB, which can be kind of the Wild West. And don't get me wrong, I like CB too. It's fun, to get on there and just, have some fun with people. But when it comes to emergency communications, I do like the license systems somewhat better. Although now an interesting point here. Ham radio. If I lived in this house here and there was a disaster and I was trapped under rubble and all I could do was reach that microphone and I'm not licensed, I could do that. I don't know if GMRS has anything similar to that. So if you are unlicensed in GMRS, I don't know if you're allowed to use it in an emergency or disaster. However, honestly, I would anyway. If I was unlicensed and there was a disaster. So that's just something interesting to know. I am noticing GMRS is really taking off lately. There's a lot of people who are interested in radio, but maybe having to study for a ham test has kind of put them back a little bit like, I don't want to do that. I just want to get on the air and talk. Maybe they're going to get on the air and talk and realize, maybe I should have learned a little bit about radio theory. But that's cool. It brings them into the hobby, and maybe when they get tired of GMRS and just having channelized channels to use, they'll want to expand and get into something different. So I definitely like the fact that it's out there and ready for people to use, and all you got to do is basically pay your fee and you got a license. Anyway, folks, link for this will be down below. It is in my Amazon store. It is also in the Retivis store. I think it's a little cheaper in the Amazon store with the $10 coupon off. So definitely check it out. Below that is our Amazon store itself. If you're not interested in anything in the store, just click the link and shop as you normally would. We really do appreciate when you do that. Definitely helps us out. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesaler link. That link will save you 15%. Whatever you're buying on there, that link will save you 15%. Underneath that is our My Patriot supply link. We've got a lot of good specials on there. Free water filters with a 3-month kit. All sorts of specials. So check it out. That's preparewithiridium.com. Preparewithiridium.com. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Love Thrive Life food. Definitely good, clean, healthy freeze-dried food for 25-year shelf life. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining me today and checking out this new little radio. Stay safe and stay prepared.